The Summer I Turned Pretty is a pretty good show. For one season by your name. The final season of Prime Video's hit young adult drama The Summer I Turned Pretty concluded on Wednesday, September 17th, leaving audiences divided. The series, adapted from Jenny Han's best-selling trilogy, has been praised for its heartfelt storytelling, devoted fan base, and emotional themes. Yet as the story expanded across 3 seasons, critics and fans alike agree that its strongest material was contained within its debut season. With the announcement of a follow-up movie, viewers are reflecting on how the show began as a poignant exploration of family, grief, and first love, only to become a more uneven narrative when later seasons leaned too closely on the original novels. A strong start. Season 1's balance of heart and story. When The Summer I Turned Pretty premiered in 2022, it quickly became one of Prime Video's most talked-about shows. Based on Han's novels published between 2009 and 2011, the series followed Isabel "Belly" Conklin, a teenager spending her summers in the fictional beach town of Cousins, Massachusetts. Belly, her older brother Stephen, and their mother Laurel shared these summers with Laurel's best friend Susanna Fisher and her sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. The first season struck a rare balance between book accuracy and original storytelling. At age 15, Belly wanted to prove her maturity by dating, attending parties, and participating in the town's traditional debutante ball. On the surface, the show appeared to be a light-hearted teen romance, but the creative team added a storyline that deepened its emotional impact. In a deviation from the novels, Laurel and Susanna revealed Susanna's terminal cancer diagnosis early in the season. This decision reframed the show's central themes, shifting it from a simple coming-of-age love story into a bittersweet meditation on life and loss. The Fisher brothers reacted differently to their mother's illness. Jeremiah, the more open and carefree sibling, was left in the dark until late in the season, while Conrad carried the secret alone. His emotional distance from both Belly and Jeremiah highlighted the pain of a teenager grappling with grief he could not share. This inner struggle came to a head during the debutante ball, when Jeremiah lashed out after discovering the truth. The season ended on a dramatic and heartbreaking note. Viewers were left with unanswered questions about Belly's romantic future, but many argued that the ambiguity made the story stronger. Season 1 showed how death and joy can coexist, and how fleeting youth is made more precious by the inevitability of loss. Extending the story, a risky move despite the praise for its debut, Prime Video renewed The Summer I Turned Pretty for 2 more seasons. While fans celebrated the continuation, critics pointed out that the later seasons leaned more heavily into the original novels, a decision that exposed the challenges of adapting early 2010s young adult fiction for modern television. The novels, though beloved, are products of their time. Critics have described them as being marked by dated gender roles, internalized misogyny, and a single-minded focus on the love triangle between Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah. By staying closer to this source material, the later seasons sometimes lost the maturity and nuance that made the first season resonate so deeply. Season 2, shifts in character. Season 2 highlighted many of these struggles. Characters who were carefully developed in the first season began to behave in inconsistent ways. Laurel, initially portrayed as pragmatic, thoughtful, and empathetic, became bitter and withdrawn in her grief, even striking Belly in a scene lifted directly from the novels. Belly herself also began to feel less consistent. The writing oscillated between presenting her as an immature girlfriend and a codependent young adult unable to find her footing. Fans noted that the change felt less like natural growth and more like an uneven shift caused by adherence to the books. Season 3. Losing focus. The third season attempted to address these concerns by introducing themes of self-discovery and independence. Belly's relationships with both Fisher brothers continued to drive the drama, but the addition of book-based material, such as portraying one brother as a stereotypical frat boy antagonist, made the triangle feel less balanced. Instead of exploring the complexity of grief and healing after Susanna's death, the season struggled to blend romance with deeper emotional themes. For much of the final season, Belly was shown in an unhealthy relationship that stifled her growth. Only in the last few episodes did the show attempt to give her a brief arc of self-exploration. Even then, the narrative circled back to a dramatic declaration of love for one brother, a choice that felt rushed and undermined earlier developments. The larger theme. Missed opportunities. The greatest disappointment for many viewers was how the show moved away from its most powerful theme, the presence of grief in everyday life. Season 1's strength was in how it showed the coexistence of joy, romance, and sorrow. Susanna's illness was always in the background, shaping the character's choices and emotions. By focusing instead on the love triangle, the later seasons left this exploration behind. What could have been a powerful narrative about healing, identity, and family became a more traditional teen romance. Critics noted that while love triangles can be entertaining, The Summer I Turned Pretty lost much of what had originally set it apart from other shows in its genre. Audience reaction and cultural impact. Despite these criticisms, the show maintained a passionate fan base. Its themes of first love, summer nostalgia, and found family struck a chord with audiences, particularly younger viewers. The show also sparked widespread online debates, especially surrounding the question of which Fisher brother Belly should ultimately choose. Social media platforms were flooded with memes, discussions, and arguments between Team Conrad and Team Jeremiah supporters. The online discourse became so intense that it helped keep the series trending, even as critical reviews of the later seasons grew more negative. The announcement of a movie following the conclusion of the third season, Prime Video confirmed that The Summer I Turned Pretty will return with a movie sequel. While details remain limited, the announcement has reignited speculation about whether the adaptation can recapture the emotional resonance of its debut. For fans, the film represents one more opportunity to see Belly's story on screen. For critics, it is a chance to bring closure to a series that many argue should have ended after its first season. The verdict. One season that truly shined. Looking back, The Summer I Turned Pretty remains an important entry in the world of teen dramas. Its first season offered a heartfelt, layered story that examined love, family, and the inevitability of loss. While its continuation across 2 more seasons was less successful, the series left a mark on pop culture and its fan community. For new viewers, the advice remains clear. Season 1 is essential viewing. It is a standalone story that blends romance and grief with care and authenticity. The later seasons, while popular, are optional and may even dilute the impact of the show's best qualities. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe my channel.